You're watching Android FPS.
Hey guys, Android FPS here. I'm really excited today because I am going to experience something very cool. Today, the HTC Vive, which is through Steam, through Valve, they are coming out with this headset this year before Christmas. It's called the Vive if you haven't heard of it. Anyway, it's being demoed today at Chicago at the Navy Pier, and I'm going to go check it out. I will continue with this video when I'm there, and yeah, we'll get some footage and it should be fun. Alright, so I'm back. Now, I didn't get to take any video footage of the experience. They didn't have any cameras in the actual demo room. I did get some pictures, and I'm just going to talk to you guys about my actual experience there and what it was like. Firstly, I got there at around 11:30 and they started at 10. I was worried that I was late and that they would have a line, you know, backed up and it would take me like 5 or 6 hours, but that wasn't the case. There's maybe only about 15, maybe 20 people there ahead of me. So it was not bad. It did take maybe 2.5 hours to get up there just because they had 3 separate booths and they were running the demos maybe 20 minutes per person. So as soon as I got there, there's a guy in line ahead of me. I don't know, I just started striking up a conversation, and we were talking about the Oculus, the Vive, all kinds of cool stuff, and really cool guy named Brian. And so that really made the line go by quick. Plus the staff were there. They were super nice. Most of them that I talked to, they weren't actually working. They didn't even really know much about it. They had just tried it themselves the same day. They were just local. They were kind of like promotion type people. So it was really overall a great experience, just going there, anticipating and being around people who didn't know what it was like. There's a bunch of people that were just like, what is this? And then there's, it's virtual reality and it's a new headset that's coming out. And they're like, how long is the wait? 2 to 3 hours. And they're like, oh, okay, I'm leaving. And they had no idea what they were missing out on. There was a couple of people that came by. They're just like 2 younger guys from Minnesota. And they're asking about it. And I was like, you guys, it's worth it. You should check it out. So they ended up staying. They were behind me, obviously. So the actual demo, what was it like? Okay, I walk into the room. It's dark because my eyes hadn't adjusted. The guy hands me the headset to put on, then the headphones, then he gives me the controllers. The controllers were wireless, and he says, all right, I'm just going to start up the basic room. He explains that I'm going to have grid lines when I walk towards the wall, which I did, which is really cool. I had done VR before with the Oculus DK1, but this was just amazingly much, much, much better. So I'm standing on the deck of a ship and I see fish everywhere, and I know that I can move around. So I'm walking around, I look behind me, I look up, I look down over the side of the ship, I see manta rays, and I'm just blown away by the details. And I didn't see my hands, but I would try to grab a fish and they would move away from me. They're AI fish from Call of Duty or something. So it's just a couple minutes go by and I'm just in awe of the whole situation and the fidelity of everything. And I look over and it's this massive freaking whale, and I'm just laughing and giddy in awe. And it just comes up close to me and it stops, and we're looking at each other. I'm like looking right in his eyes, looking at me. And it was just so incredible, the size of this freaking thing, man. It was like so hard to describe. It's like there, it's freaking there. And its tail extends like 20 feet down, and at least. So that was cool, to say the least. That was probably my favorite one, but they're also amazing. Then there was the kitchen demo, and this one was with there's like a countertop and all these things, like there's knives, there's cutting board, there's like all these tools, there's dishes, there's pans, and I'm hitting the pans, and I pick up like some bread and I just throw it across the kitchen. I open up the fridge and there's like eggs, and I drop an egg, and then I take some bread and all this stuff, and I'm trying to figure out how the controllers work, because you click and then it takes your little hands that you have and you grab stuff. So I'm like picking up two things and then throw them together in the air and they collide with each other, and then I grab them again. Or I just like try to juggle, even though I can't juggle. If I could, I would. And I'm throwing stuff at the walls, and I'm taking this like hot sauce thing and I'm like shaking it like this, and it was just such a crazy thing to be able to actually grab stuff, and it gives you such an incredible sense of presence. It really was incredible. And then after that, it fades out, then I go to this screen where it's just like a black void, and it was a way to paint in 3D. And I heard about this, but it was just really cool how your left hand you can pick the color, the palette, like what type. It's like paint almost. You want thick lines, you want it to be watercolor, you want fire, you want stars. You pick the color, and then with your right hand you just go like this, and it stays there, and it's just like drawing all these, you know, cascading colors. And I just kept on adding more and more and more, and it was just, I could like walk into it. And so that's going to be really popular, I think. That one was really cool. Then the last one was very impressive. It was based on Portal, and basically you're in this room and you hear a voice guiding you through different steps. So you have to grab some drawers and pull them out, and I was having trouble figuring out which drawers to grab, and I felt kind of dumb because I was like, I grabbed the right drawer but I didn't open it all the way. But I don't want to spoil this one if anybody wants to do it. It's just it really demonstrates the scale and the way that the robots were interacting with me, the way they were moving. Just absolutely, I can't even describe the word for it. Just so incredibly immersive and just mind-blowing, man. I got out of there. I just want to get my hands on this thing. It's absolutely incredible. With VR, you're going to be able to go places that you've never been able to go. Now, I heard on this podcast called Review the Future, and Futurology podcast, so they're talking about VR. And one of the guests they had on said that the internet democratized information, but virtual reality is going to democratize experience. So anybody can experience almost anything. And it's going to be as transcendent as the internet was, in my opinion. So, you know, basically I got to witness a bit of history today. Valve, obviously they own it. So they own Steam VR. So people who already have high-end gaming PCs that can handle virtual reality will be able to make that adoption quicker and easier than others. They also, I believe, are going to heavily monetize items in game, no matter what game it is, whether it's Counter-Strike type games, MOBAs, or new kinds of games where maybe you have swords or something like that, because when you're holding something and you're looking at it and it's in your face, you really feel like it's there. And it's going to be so much more so with virtual reality. And I really think that people are going to opt to spend a lot of time in this space because it just feels so freaking real. The actual fidelity, the resolution, I didn't even notice green screen. Now at first I wasn't even looking for it. I was just excited to experience this. And coming from the DK1, it was like night and day. I started to try to look for it during the last demo with the Portal demo, and I honestly really couldn't see it. It just looked like maybe textures. It wasn't perfect, but absolutely not an issue at all. I did notice, I don't know if this is true for other people, when I was walking around in the kitchen one, I was like getting wobbly. I almost fell. I was just like, felt like I was drunk or something. I couldn't get my balance. But yeah, I just think if you get a chance to check it out, you know, do the tour. Go to do the Valve HTC Vive tour. They're going to, I forget where they're going to next, but I think they're going to Seattle. But either way, it's absolutely incredible. It's going to be coming out this year. I'm going to be doing more videos on it when I get my hands on this thing. And right now, it seems like there's not a whole lot of content about virtual reality, but then it's not even really released yet. So it's not something that's really on the radar for a lot of people, but it will be soon. And it's going to be freaking huge. Anyway, guys, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.